It's time for
Southern Gospel Forward.
Southern Gospel Forward.
Southern Gospel Forward.
Happy Tuesday, everyone.
Hey.
Wow, the excitement. Can you feel it in the air? Did you just sense that just then? Wow. Avery said hello. Hey, y'all, we are glad that you joined us on this Tuesday evening. We've been looking forward to this one for a while. And thank y'all. Hey, y'all have really popped this thing. We set a record. I think that we were at 130 as far as the event reactions that we post on Facebook. I think that was Roland Kesterson from the Inspirations. Mm-hmm. This one had, last I looked, 193. So we not only beat it, we demolished it with the record. And we thank y'all for having your interest in us. And we almost got Pat Barker off the leaderboard on individual sponsors. We fell one short. So Pat Barker beat us tonight by one vote, and it just tears me up. Anyway, y'all, thank you so much for joining us. Hey, you know the drill. Y'all know what we do, what we're fixing to ask you. If you're watching us on Facebook, would you please share us, help us draw a crowd. And also, we'd love for you to like our page if you hadn't already. We'd love for you to hang out with us. We do this on the 1st and 3rd and 5th Tuesdays. It's advertised. It's out there. It's in the book. So you know where we're going to broadcast, and just plan to join us, having some of the best folks in Southern Gospel music live. We're the ones that's crazy enough to go live with all the hiccups and bumps. Here we are. And also, hey, YouTubers, we appreciate y'all. Thanks for watching us. If you'll subscribe, that would be a blessing as well. And I said we had 20 individual sponsors. We need to recognize them real quick. They keep us going, and it's going to take me a while to read these, but I'll get through it. I'm going to follow the scroll, let it get started for a second. But hey, how about John Barker? Pat Barker, he sponsored against himself, the Brown family, Owen Fields, Silas Fuller, Daniel Garrett, Claire George, Kyle Goodson, Elaine Harcourt, Daniel Hayes, Joy and Michelle Maddox, Anthony Pritchett, Brent Smith, Wayne Triplett, an anonymous sponsor, Avery's biggest fan, Tiffany's biggest fan, Aaron's biggest fan, Scott's biggest fan, and Evan's smallest fan. So we have some awesome folks that sponsored us, and I just had a cha-ching, and I'm going to be very unprofessional and look at it right quick to see, and just in case. Oh, we got another one. So let's mention her. I usually don't cut this off hour. Kathy Chester is an individual sponsor. She just did that. So we were tied.
We're tied.
21-21. All right, y'all. Let's I tell you, let's bring out our guest. We love him. Y'all love him. Such a friend to Southern Gospel Forward, such a friend to all Southern Gospel music. Y'all welcome to our show, Luke Vaught of the Inspirations.
Hello there, Facebook land.
and YouTube. You are double posting tonight. Hey, Luke, how are you doing, buddy?
Doing great. Good to see all you folks.
Well, it is a pleasure to have you back. You are our third guest in the very first season when we were just getting this little ship off the road, and it's time we had you back. So thank you for joining us.
Glad to be back. I'll never forget the first time.
All right. Well, we won't never forget it, or I'm sure we will not forget tonight. I believe it's going to be a good one. We're going to have a good time. You've been here with us before, but it was a very different setup when you were with us. I don't even think Evan, you didn't get to be on that one, did you? Avery and I are the only two holdovers that have here. So it's going to be a little fresh tonight. But let's go ahead and start it this way. I know that everybody who is watching knows who you are, but would you just give a little cold opening hello and howdy and tell folks about yourself right quick?
Well, I'm Luke Vaught, and I'm the musician with the Inspirations and the baritone singer. I've been a part of the group since I was 17, and that's almost 16 years.
Wow.
And normally you'll see me playing the piano and singing baritone with the group. but I love this music and love the inspirations and love all you folks. I've seen so many friends pop up here. I'm watching it on my phone here too.
Yes, sir.
And of course, I'm friends with these people doing the interviews here. But hello to everybody.
Yeah. I tell you, Luke, you are a fan favorite. You're well loved, and rightfully so. We love your spirit. And it's crazy to think about. You've almost got 16 years under your belt with the Inspirations.
I don't know how, but with the Lord's help, I know that much, but it's hard to believe it's been that long.
It is, and you are a blessing to all. Well, look, Luke, I'm going to, you know the drill. I'm going to get out of the way, and 4 friends have got some questions to ask you, so I'm going to let them take off.
That's what I'm most scared about.
Evan, we can't hear you.
Evan,
that's perfect.
He is pulling the habadank tonight. There we go.
Okay,
right.
There we go. I had to change my settings. So you missed me the first time, so I get dibs for the first for So my first question here is, if you could play on any album in the history of music, it can be gospel, it can be country, whichever. If you could be a studio musician for any of those albums, what would you play and what would that album be?
Oh boy, that's really hard. I'm going to just promote gospel music. That's what I love, and that's what I believe in. The stuff that I like, I feel like if I was on it, I'd mess it up. But I do like some of the old Inspirations records, like the Warner Robins live record.
Yeah.
I wish I could say I played on that, but or just did something. But I'd have to go with that.
Cool. That's my favorite inspiration.
Maybe be able to say I played on the original recording of Jesus Is Coming Soon or something like that.
That would be cool. That would be really cool.
But I feel like I've listened to some of that stuff so much I'd mess it up if I was on it. But boy, you really started out hard. If it gets harder than this, I don't know what's going to happen.
I got one that I think you'll answer pretty easily. So your overalls are like your iconic look. You know, everybody knows you in your overalls, right? I mean, even at Singing in the Smokies now, there's an overalls night, and like everybody wears overalls. So how did you get started, like wearing overalls?
Well, I've never been known for having style. I'm just ugly old me, but of course, I wore them when I was real little, but I kind of got away from it through school. But it got to a point where I just thought they were comfortable and started wearing them all the time. And if you like it, great. If you don't, I don't know. That's just what I wear. But I've got some that I work in, and then I've got some that I think look nice that I keep nice and wear most of the time. But I will say this. A lot of people don't know this. Back in 2011, I played with some friends of mine that had a little bluegrass group on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And then I'd drive across the mountain and get on the Inspirations bus. But they worked for the city of Gatlinburg, and they were kind of like background music downtown. And
the Tunes and Tales stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. They auditioned and got the job. Then their guitar player had to drop out, so they asked me to fill in for them. It worked with my schedule, but we had to wear stuff like this. And I already wore it a little bit, but when I had to wear it all day long there, I just started packing only that. And I'd wear it when I got on the bus, then I'd just wear it all the time. So that's where it came from. But I'm not trying to do nothing. I just like to wear them. Yeah,
that's fun. I know when we went tubing the first year at Singing in the Smokies, I saw somebody coming down, and I was like, are they in overalls coming down the creek? And I was like, I already know who it is because it's just you know.
Now I did have swimming attire ready for that.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize we weren't going to have a chance to change or anything, so I just jumped in there like that.
That is fantastic.
That'll preach.
That sounds uncomfortable, but you do you, buddy.
It was very uncomfortable. It just kind of happened.
He's just out here accidentally starting a movement with the overalls.
No.
So if you've watched some of the episodes since I've been on, this has kind of become a question I've asked all of our guests, but I'm putting a little bit of a different spin on it for you because you're such a great musician as well as singer. So if you could put together a Mount Rushmore of musicians from any genre, who would you put on your Mount Rushmore?
Well, I'm not good at the Mount Rushmore questions. People ask me stuff like that a lot. And yeah, I play a lot of different things, so I kind of subdivide everything by instrument. Like, my first instrument was the fiddle. That's what I started on.
Okay.
And so I would, if I had to pick 4 fiddle players, I'd say somebody like Benny Martin, Kenny Baker, Buddy Spiker, Tater Tate. I would name like that. Now, what you know me for is playing the piano for a quartet. So if I had to make a Mount Rushmore of people that do that, I'd say Martin Cook, the man that came before me in my group. Hovey Lister, he was probably my first hero on that. Someone that I've been studying a lot of his playing that is a challenge to me would be James Walbert, who played for the Vaught Quartet.
Yeah.
And wrote a lot of really neat piano stuff. And then it's hard to pick another one. It might be tied for somebody like Henry Slaughter or Danny Coker or Joe Roper. People like that. I think those guys accompanied a quartet well.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. I don't try to play fancy stuff. I try to accompany a quartet. And I think each of those guys I named was really good at that.
Oh, absolutely.
And I play the steel guitar. That's what I used to do with the older inspirations. I've got a Mount Rushmore of Jimmy Day, Bud Isaacs, Lloyd Green, Pete Drake. That would be an example of that. So I have lots of little Mount Rushmores for all of that.
That's why I asked the question that way, because I figured you would. That's awesome.
He's a mountain range of Mount Rushmore.
Evan and I got to see Pete Drake's grave in Nashville a month or so back. That was cool.
Really
cool.
And one of his steels in one of the museums was really sick.
Yeah, each of the instruments that I play, I have heroes on them that I've really studied a lot of their playing. Just recently, I bought a lap steel that's a Jerry Bird model lap steel. It's got 8 strings. It's called a frying pan. And I brought it to a few concerts, but I've really been studying his playing. He didn't use pedals on the steel. Did lots of bar slants and stuff. So I've really been hung up on that lately. And I've been trying to learn a fiddle tune here lately, and that's a totally different world. But yeah, each instrument I've kind of got things I listen to and study.
That's awesome.
That's really cool. All right. I hope mine's an easy question since you clearly your brain needs a break. But I know you travel a ton with the inspirations.
Yeah.
But what do you like to do when you're not traveling?
Oh, that's easy. I like to do Southern Gospel Forward interviews.
And there's a plug.
Your check's in the mail.
No. Okay. Well, even when I'm at home, I'm always playing music. I'm always trying to play something. I'll name a few music things I do, and then there's some other interesting hobbies I've got. As far as music, I go to a bluegrass jam sometimes on like the second Monday of each month. I think it is. It's in Brownsville, Kentucky. And some guys sit around in a circle and we play instruments. I enjoy doing that. There's a antique car cruise in. It's actually tonight. I'm missing it tonight, but that's okay. And some of my music friends show up at that, and we play a little bit there. And then I've got some friends around home, and a lot of them are involved in different ministries. And so I get to go to different things with them sometimes, different churches and that sort of thing. I've even got a little quartet of guys that I started in high school called the Band Table Singers. And every once in a blue moon, we'll get together and sing. We don't take bookings or anything, but we just sing for fun. So I do that. But that's all music related. I'm also really into antique cars, antique tractors, and old machinery and stuff like that. My grandpa was into that, and that kind of got the whole family involved in it. But I love old cars. I have an old 1964 Oldsmobile convertible that I like to drive around. My dad and I are working on a 1969 Jeep project right now, trying to get it going. That's the kind of stuff I enjoy doing when I'm home.
Cool.
There's lots more, but I don't want to talk too much.
Oh, you're not going to talk too much. This is all about you. You take the time tonight. A couple of comments from that round stuck out to me. First of all, the overalls. Now look, they may not be prime attire for floating down a creek or a river, but I'm with you, brother. I have a bank job and I have to kind of dress and all that for that. But if I could wear overalls every day, I would. There's nothing more comfortable. As you know, I'm just telling you. So I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see.
I see that, Joseph. That's
yeah. We've got a lot of comments and questions. Y'all put those comments and questions in. We're going to get to you tonight. We really want to try to hit as many as we can in this time. So put those questions in, and we'll get them shared with Luke. Thinking about it, if it's amazing to see you play all the instruments, and I know you have to think in different directions doing that. Maybe and think you've got the touch of God upon you as far as that goes, as being able to consume any instrument. But what would you say your most difficult instrument that took you the longest to really grab and master, so to speak? What would you say that was?
I started on the violin.
Mm-hmm.
My dad signed me up to take violin lessons when I was 5 years old. And I did that for several years. And there was a lot of years of scratching and sounding terrible.
Okay.
And then there was a point where it's kind of like a light bulb clicked and I could get it. And I think that's when the Lord gave me the ability to play and
there you go.
Musical talent. I think he gave it to me right then.
So the first one was the most difficult, and then you got the touch, and then it went from there. That's good.
After that, everything made sense, and I had to work on everything. From the fiddle, my dad had a mandolin and guitars, and we always had a piano at home, so I was able to get my hands on that stuff. My uncle had a dobro and banjo. I was able to get my hands on those. Dobro led to the pedal steel guitar. Kind of through that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lots of other things that I play, not as much like a harmonica or stuff like that, but I just kind of picked them up along the way. And I feel like the Lord gave me a mind to understand how to do that.
Oh, he did. Absolutely.
So I try to use those in ways to glorify him.
Absolutely. And you do. All right, producer Jason and Dawson, what you got lined up for us? Y'all can go ahead and start shooting some of those up, and let's see what our friends watching us. Anthony Pritchett, one of our Forward family members and longtime supporter. Howdy, friends. Brother Luke is one of my all-time favorite musicians. I appreciate your friendship, and God bless you, brother. And Anthony's been under the weather. He's been recovering from some sickness, so y'all pray for Anthony.
He's one of my favorite fans. I love to see him lift his hands back there. He's always excited, and he's an encouragement to see.
Yes, sir. Zach steps in and says, hey, y'all, 2 questions for Luke. What is your Mount Rushmore of cars, and what 5 instruments that you haven't played that you want to? Maybe, and if you want to just say one instrument that you haven't played that you want to, but your Mount Rushmore of cars and an instrument you haven't played that you want to.
I don't know about Mount Rushmore of cars. My grandpa really liked Oldsmobiles, and I love Oldsmobiles. That's what mine is. I like Model A Fords. I can't think of 4. That's my particular favorites. I like unusual stuff, so I don't know how to answer that. But now, as far as instruments, I've never played. I've tried a little bit of everything, but there's stuff I don't have. For instance, Wyatt just got back from Scotland. We had a vacation week, and he went out there to Scotland, and he likes to talk about bagpipes all the time. So I'm going to have to get my hands on some bagpipes sometime and play those for him. But I don't have any, even though I live in Glasgow, Kentucky. But there's, I'm always down to try some kind of unusual instrument. If you've got one you can bring me to try, I'll try it.
There you go. Sounds like a good challenge out there, folks.
You ever seen one of these?
I
think you put it right here, and whatever.
Jaw harp.
No, not a jaw harp, but it's like a bow stick. You like put it up to your mouth. It's an antique instrument. I
Yeah.
was wondering.
We did a school project in elementary school where we took a yardstick and made one of them with a
Oh, yeah.
string on it. And
Yeah,
you-
mine's a little. Yeah,
Yeah.
the action's a little low, but you said that. So you do know how to play one of these. That is fascinating. Very cool.
don't look for me to be playing that on stage, but
Throw it into your I'll Fly Away medley.
Hey,
Yeah.
why not? NQC extravaganza. Let's do it. Carrie Henderson says, "Hi, cousin from Chattanooga, Tennessee."
hello there. Henderson's and there's my grandma there.
Yeah, Miss Linda Brown, Mama Brown, watching from
That's-
E-Town, Kentucky.
That's my West Virginia roots there. The
Okay.
Henderson side of the family and the Browns come from West Virginia.
I think Charlie Lucas is having a little fun with Evan when he was working on his question. Said, "Spit it out, Elvis." It's all good.
I like
Hello,
you,
Charlie.
Charlie.
Corey Pearson. Hello, y'all. Looky Luke. That's a talented friend right there. Yes, he is. Thanks for joining us, Corey. Appreciate
I
you.
love Corey. We used to sing with the Diplomats a whole lot, and I
Yes.
was sure friends with all of them.
It's a great musician. John Barker, have Luke explain how he is the only inspiration to have traveled with all the inspirations through the years. That's fascinating.
Well,
I think you just did explain it, John.
well,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to explain, but when I started, Martin Cook was still involved, and Mike
Right.
Holcomb, and the old Bear Hunter was still traveling,
Mhm.
and David Reagan was there, Melton Campbell, and Dallas Rogers.
Mhm.
That was the group when I very first started playing with them, and so I traveled with those guys. Then eventually Matt Dobler came back to the group. I traveled with him. All the tenors after Dallas until Archie came back, I traveled with. Harold Reed, Casey
Mhm.
Johnson,
Mhm.
Jody Hosterman, Mark Clark, Darren Osborne. I traveled with every one of them. Ronnie Hutchins still ran our office, and he would go out and sing with us some. I traveled 2 or 3 weekends with him. Whenever Martin retired, Archie came back in the group. Eddie Dietz came back in the group. Marlon Schubert came back in the group. And Troy Burns, even briefly, just came back just for like a week or two. But then he ended up doing his family group after that. But every one of the groups in between that transition, I traveled with all of those guys. And then, of course, Wyatt and Isaac. And Martin couldn't say that he ever traveled with either one of them.
Yeah.
And I guess Archie didn't technically travel with Isaac. He's done some singings with him.
Right.
But in a weird way, I've performed with every one of them. Roger Fortner, Dale Jones, all of the guys. Now, if you get real technical, there was a bass singer early when the group was forming, Dean Robinson, and he died years ago. I never knew him. But all of the members that you see on recordings, I've done singings as the inspirations with every one of them.
Have you ever sang with Ray Dean Reese?
Oh yeah, many.
I was gonna say he sang with the inspirations for about a month or so.
He
if
sure
I'm not
did.
mistaken, yeah.
Okay.
I'd claim him.
Absolutely. That's a good question. All right. Next up, we have Nick Wilkie with his signature question. Luke is one of my favorite people in gospel music, a dear special friend. What is your favorite era of gospel music?
Oh, I like the one now because I get to play in it. But
There you go.
but I find myself mostly listening to old recordings. And I go through phases where sometimes I like the old 40s and 50s quartets.
Oh, yeah.
That gets old after a while for me, but I like to listen to like the Florida Boys records from the late 60s with Tommy Atwood.
Yeah.
And the Inspirations records from that time, like 60s and 70s. But there's things I like about all different eras. I think some of the best ministry in the music was maybe later than that, maybe in the 80s and 90s, some of the groups around that time. But maybe the style of music is not my favorite.
Yeah.
But there's things I like about all of them. But definitely older stuff is what I listen to the most. But you can't go back. You just got to keep going forward. And I try to do the best I can with the era we're in now, But Nicholas Wilkie, I love you. He's one of my favorite people too. We always get to talk about bass singers every time he comes around.
Yeah, he'll talk to you about a bass singer, that's for sure.
He gets to live in the coolest place over there in South Carolina, where so much gospel music history comes from.
Yeah.
He loves records and stuff. That's another thing. I collect gospel records. I've got thousands and always looking for more. Somebody brought me a record this week. They brought me an autographed Statesman record of Big Chief, Doy, Hovey, Rosie, and Jake.
Oh,
every one of those autographs was on it. And I just couldn't believe that. But
that's great.
We found some new ones that we didn't have in Jasper the other day of the Schubert family. And we always like those because
you probably have more of the Schubert family ones than I do. There's several that I don't have of theirs.
4 now, I think that made us 4.
Marlon made records before the Inspirations and after with the Schubert family.
With his family.
I don't have many of them, but you're in the right country to find them down there.
Yeah,
that's right.
What is that, Walker County?
Yeah, Walker County. You got it.
He pinpointed us, man. Whoa.
And Jason had popped up too. We have Miss Donna Wolf watching us. She said, "Hey, friends." So thank you, Miss Donna. We appreciate y'all.
Hello there.
We love the Wolf family. Nathan Ohlweiler, did you get to play the piano on the Grand Ole Opry? I remember hearing you say once that was a dream of yours.
I didn't play. I could have, but the way that worked, it was just easiest for me to stand out there and sing.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I would have drifted back there and touched the piano just to say I did, but ultimately,
there was a cool piano player that night, though. It was Andrew Ishii. I mean, come on.
Now I've played music with him a lot. I've played on a Kingsman reunion with him, and played a show with the Bible Tones one time down in Meridian, Mississippi with him, and I've played with him, but I don't even know.
And you got to stand in the circle.
Yeah, that was neat.
Yep, that was awesome.
You can touch the piano next time that y'all get on the Opry, because it's going to happen again.
No,
we did play it some before it started. We got around the piano and sang some, but no, they told me, Dwayne or one of them told me I could go over there and do that, but it was just easier to stand out there and sing.
Understood. So tickled y'all got the opportunity to share the gospel from the stage at the Grand Ole Opry. Yep. What a blessing.
Old Avery and Evan were there.
We
were front row, man.
Good stuff. All right, Jason, maybe a couple more. Let's see what you got. I know we just keep getting the comments in there. John Kelly, how many James D. Vaughn books do you have?
Every one that John has ever had for sale at the Vaughn Festival, I've got a copy of. And then I've collected several through the years. I've probably got 30 or 40 of them. And I've got Stamps Baxter books and R.E. Winsett books and a lot of stuff like that. I'm always looking for things like that and looking for songs in them too. There's bound to be a song, the Shelton family started singing Jesus is Coming Soon in the 60s, and it was in a songbook from the 40s.
Okay.
And it didn't become a big song in gospel music until the late 70s or late 60s, excuse me. And so there's bound to be some song in there that God might have a special time for later.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always sifting through some of those books like that.
Oh, that's great. Do you have a copy of the It book?
Are some of the best ones. People were really relying on the Lord more and praying a lot during hard times like that. And I think some of the better songs were written during that time period.
Yeah.
Reagan Riddle taught me that.
You talking about your books? Do you have a copy of the It book?
I've got a photocopy of it.
Okay.
Somebody photocopied, and I was really good friends. A fella passed away, and he had a copy of it.
Mm-hmm.
And some of his family told me I could have it, but they don't know where it is. So,
oh wow. There not many of those floating around for sure.
Yeah, it's kind of cheesy, honestly.
It is.
I've lived through it.
It is. It absolutely is. It's just one of those collector's items. But yeah,
it's a lot of show business kind of stuff and not so much spiritual stuff. And I'm not as interested in that. But
yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Wayne Triplett, what gospel singer has most influenced your vocal style?
Now, first of all, Wayne Triplett is awesome. If you don't know him, he's one of our fans, and he can sound just like Ronnie Hutchins singing. So we like to get together and jam with him. But obviously, singing in the Inspirations, I try to kind of match that style of singing. And so there's things that the old Bear Hunter, Jack Laws did that I try to, I don't copy it, but I like that easy kind of singing.
Yeah.
And then some of the harmony choices that Eddie Dietz went to, I pattern after that. But there's other things. I've always liked the old country singer Lefty Frizzell's voice. And I'm not promoting that music, but I like the sound of someone that puts a lot of feeling in their singing. And there was a guy that sung with Carl Story, an old bluegrass singer. His name was Bud Brewster. And when I was little, I used to listen to him sing a whole lot. And he had a real soft, pleasant voice. And I like that. And I don't have a very loud voice. So people like that, I kind of take after. And I don't think I sound like any of them, but I just like that easy kind of singing. And the vocal part that I do in the group allows me to kind of lay back and do that and focus on making the tone and putting the feeling in it.
You're the glue. You're the glue that brings the harmony together. Absolutely. Jason, let's put maybe one or two more up, and then we'll get back to our panel. Neil Champion chiming in says, do you do much studio session work outside of the Inspirations?
I don't hardly do any where I go to a studio and record stuff, but I do a lot of overdubs.
Yeah.
There's a fellow named James Rainey that sends me a lot of work to add some instruments, like especially pedal steel guitar, fiddle, banjo, stuff like that. Rob Novell sends me stuff.
Okay.
Sometimes there's a boy named Jordan. I can't remember his last name. His company, I can't remember the name of it, but there's different people that send me stuff, and I do overdubs. And then, of course, I play on the Inspirations records at the studio.
Yeah.
So I guess I do a lot of it, but it's mostly from home.
Now, are you the predominant on Inspiration Records? Do you do just piano and let the other instruments, or are you kind of around the studio doing tracking by yourself?
I do all of the steel guitar playing on our albums. And, of course, we don't have much besides piano and steel guitar, bass, and that sort of thing. I did some of the lead guitar, acoustic guitar I've done that on albums for several years. And like, for instance, on the Up Above the World So High album, most of the was on the piano, like the kickoff to Up Above the World So High or Jesus Lit Up to His Name. That's me playing the piano. I'll Never Move Away. That's me on the piano there. And Roger Talley played in the studio, like the rhythm. And I was over there on the steel guitar while he was laying down that track.
Right.
Yeah. He had me come in and play the intros. And that's the same way on our new album that'll be out at Singing in the Smokies. But all the steel guitar, the fiddle on Many Miles Behind Me, I played that.
That one's pretty.
I wouldn't have put fiddle on it because that's not something we normally do, but they asked me to do that, and I think it turned out all right. That was my first instrument, so I enjoy going back to that.
Yeah, it's good. Producer Jason tells me there's a ton of comments and questions left. Tell you what, let's put them on hold for a moment. Y'all keep piping them in. We'll mark some and get back to them. But how about we turn it back over to, I guess, Evan? You're the kickoff again for this round?
You didn't get this first time around because I wasn't here. So this has become my iconic question of
Road Trip Snack. I know all about it.
Boy, howdy. Just answer it for me then.
I didn't mean to take it away from you.
No, what is it? Go ahead.
Well, do I look like I need any more snacks?
Well, I mean, you've been on the road a little bit. You might have, Martin may have taught you a cool trick with snacks or something,
There was a time where I went through this phase where I refused to buy any meal. Like, I wouldn't go in. If we stopped at a restaurant, I would just eat whatever I could find on the bus. And I would take like saltine crackers and mixed like mustard and hot sauce or whatever little packets of anything I could find. just because it was free. But I got out of that. But I don't have a particular favorite. But what I love, I'll tell you this, I love when people bring us stuff that's unique to their area. Like we've got some friends in Texas, and one time they loaded our bus down with jerky that came from a local place to them in Texas. And that was so cool. And we ate off that for like a year.
That's really cool.
And
That
then
is very cool.
we've got a friend from Canada, got a good friend from Canada, and he'll drive long distances to come hear us. And he always brings a bag of goodies that's like stuff he can only get in Canada.
Is it my same Canada hookup?
I don't. It's he was at Singing in the Smokies.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
John.
it's already
Yeah.
same one as well. Yep.
I don't
Cool.
want to call anybody out, but he's,
I don't know if
We
he
have a
minds.
Canada hookup.
oh,
That's
yeah.
what
I don't.
I was
know
going
if
to
he
say we
minds.
showcased the snacks on
Yeah.
a vlog
Yeah.
one time.
Yeah, it was on Canada Day.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I don't have a particular favorite thing, but I do like to try things that are unique to an area. We've got 4 or 5 people that are they bring us fried pies,
Ooh.
Oh,
and we may or may not have a ranking of them.
Mm.
Now they change, so one of them might be in first place one time, but that's more of a question for Roland Kesterson if he's ever on.
Oh,
here.
we
He's
got
the
him
one that
on back in it's been probably 5 or 6 months ago, maybe even a year now.
he said his favorite was like a tomato and bologna sandwich. Like
and
cracked
y'all,
me up.
it is the greatest thing in the world. You get a slice of tomato and bologna and
Yeah.
some mayo and toast the sandwich. And everywhere I go at a sandwich shop, that's what I get, and I call it the Roland Special, and it's the best thing ever.
We don't have a refrigerator on our bus. We've got a little ice cooler, and we keep drinks and stuff in there. But we did have Mater sandwiches this past weekend.
Mm.
The Primitive Quartet, when they sold that bus to our group, they left a knife on there that was their Mater sandwich knife. And so that's
I
a
know you're
treasure
saying
thing.
that.
Yeah,
That's the
and-
most primitive quartet thing I've ever heard, and I love it.
Well, they left that for us on the bus. That, for those of you that don't know, our bus was the old Primitive Quartet bus, and somebody brought us some tomatoes this past weekend on the road, and Isaac was back there slicing it for Tony and feeding it to him while he was driving. So that's just what we do. But
Well, can we petition this to have a Roland Specials being sold at Singing in the Smokies this year? Bologna tomato sandwiches. Can we make that happen?
you have to get Troy Burns on board for that.
Well, it's a good thing I have his number and used to have it on speed dial, so I'll make some connections happen tonight.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
who's
it's
next
my
up?
turn.
It's
I'm
your
sorry.
turn
I
now.
was
Give it up.
listening. I was so caught up in the comments. I forgot it's my turn to ask a question. Okay.
These comments are going crazy. I'm reading them too.
Yeah. I was watching those. So the Inspirations have always been known for their matching suits. It's just become iconic for them. Do you have a favorite suit that you guys like? Well, you've been on the road a while, so like any suit has been your favorite.
Oh, I've got so many suits. My closet is full of so many suits from even back when I first started. And I think we have 13 or 14 suits that the current group has had.
Wow.
And I'll just be honest, I don't want to say names because they may not want it told, but there's a dear friend of our groups that has provided most all of them for us. And he is he's helped us out with that, and he helps a few young preachers that I know of and a few other young singers.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's something special, and that person knows who he is, and I really appreciate that. But he's taken us to a place and just lets us pick out about 3 at a time. And when one starts to get worn out, he'll take us up there again. And I sure appreciate that because I can't just go out and buy a bunch of suits.
Right.
But for the Inspirations, it shows unity. We're all wearing the same thing. And of course, we're trying to honor the Lord with how we dress. We don't want to offend anybody with it, and a suit is not going to offend anybody.
Right.
I'm not a stickler on that kind of stuff, but sometimes if you don't want to wear a tie, there's somebody that's not going to like that. They'll complain. So we just wear suits and ties. That's one thing nobody's going to complain about. But when I first started with the group, they had just got a suit. And so I didn't have one that matched. And it was a big deal for me when I was able to get my first matching suit with the group. And I just thought, boy, I've made it now. But in fact, some of the first suits I wore were Dallas Rogers suits when he left the group. I guess he would have been the first member that left after I started. And of course, he was different size than me, and we had to kind of tweak him a little bit. But that was my first white suit was back then. We had kind of a creamy white suit we wore back then. And so I really think the white suit that we have now is pretty special. It was kind of something that the old group always had at different times. And when we did that, it was kind of special. Now, I protested it. Isaac and them, they'll tell you that I protested it. I thought people are going to think we're crazy for doing that. But now I tell people it was my idea. It was. But it's just something the group's always had. But now, out of all the suits that the group now has got, the blue suit that we had about 2 years ago, kind of a lighter blue, not the one that's on Up Above the World So High, but the one before that, lighter blue. Me and Isaac picked that suit out because it looked just like one the Florida Boys wore on the album called Your Kind of Singing. And they wore black pants and wore that light blue suit and had a black tie. And me and him just loved that version of the Florida Boys and wanted to have a suit close to that. And not long after we got that suit and started wearing it, we got to sing with Tommy Atwood, who was on that album. And he showed up singing wearing a blue suit. And we just thought that was the coolest thing. And I have so many fond memories of that. That was probably one of my favorites. Blue's my favorite color anyways.
Yeah. Aaron, what is that group? And I think you've looked it up for me before. They had like the banana yellow suits. And I was like, if anybody nowadays could pull that off, it could only be the Inspirations.
Pull the plug. No, don't start that. No.
JD and the Stamps had them, but the Kingsmen also had them in the early 70s.
I've just seen albums like that. And I'm like, that was a choice to wear bright yellow matching suits.
Please don't put that in Isaac's head.
She had me track down that album cover one time, and I can't remember who it was.
I can't remember either. I'm just always
Dixie Echoes, maybe.
Maybe.
It might be an Echoes album.
But I'm always amazed when I wear the white suits at the outdoor singings because I would not.
I like for the suits to be pretty conservative, and a lot of people we sing for appreciate that.
Yeah.
But that white one, it's kind of bold, but I think it looks good on stage. It shows up good, and
it always makes y'all glow when I take pictures or videos of y'all in those. I just think it's kind of cool.
Well, the main thing is we want to honor the Lord with whatever we do, and dressing is one way you can do that.
Absolutely. Cool.
That's my story on the suits there.
I like it.
There you go. So obviously for most of your time traveling with the group, you traveled with Martin Cook, and you've kind of touched on he was one of your heroes for years. So traveling with somebody like that who built this legacy that you're carrying forward, there had to have been a lot of life lessons and wisdom that you could glean from traveling with him. So what are some lessons that he taught you in your time traveling with him that you've carried forward?
He said he used to say things like, if you keep your nose clean and live for the Lord and keep up with what you're doing, you could always have a job in the Inspirations. He would say things like that. And so that's something I've tried to do. And he taught me small things about how he wanted rhythm to be played in the group. He had a certain lick on the piano that he felt matched the singing the best. And I kind of already knew this, but he emphasized things like not covering up the singers. Because when I was with Martin, I was playing instruments like the electric guitar and the steel guitar, and I had to learn how to not cover up the singers rather than just play licks all the time. And he would show me how to make an intro set up the song. When he came up with the intro to Holding Up the Ladder, he said he wanted it to sound like a cat running up a ladder. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And so I try to do stuff like that. See, I came up with the intro on Up Above the World So High, a song we recorded this past year. And it kind of sounds like a bird taking off. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And that was something I learned from him. And of course, those are just musical things, but there's lots of other things. He would teach us not to stand broad-shouldered to the audience. He would always want you to stand more like this. I don't really know what that means, but that's something he taught us, and taught us not to be hunting for night crawlers while we're standing on stage, like looking all around like this. Wanted us to focus on the audience. I don't know if any of that's ever been told much on some of our stuff, but that's what we do there.
Well, Martin having that military background, and like I went down this big rabbit hole when I read the book, and how Martin's military background had a lot to do with how the guys were on stage and the matching, and the shoes were the patent leather are a big thing with Martin and his military experience, right?
Yeah, probably so. Archie and the guys had kind of got away from that in the last few years, and so when us boys started singing without the older guys in the group, we wanted to go back to that, and so we got us those shiny shoes again, and that's just an inspirations thing, and we've tried to stay true to that. But the main thing is your heart's got to be in it. It's got to be a heart for the Lord to do this. If you're just doing this kind of music to get on stage and sing, you're missing the mark. And if you just want to get into it, if you just want to go sing and play, you can do that. But God has to open up doors for you to do it, I think, the right way. And when I got into this, I didn't know anything about the world of Southern gospel music. I didn't know anything about it. I had heard a couple groups, but other than that, I didn't know anything about it, and didn't have any desire to travel and sing. I didn't even understand that. But I had a talent that I believe the Lord gave me, and I was interested in making that better, working on that and honing that in. And I think God gave me opportunities to do that because that's what he wanted me to do. So I don't know how I got off on that, but
it's great.
That's kind of the same mindset
awesome.
some of the older inspirations had, I think. And I've tried to stay true to that.
It's great.
Awesome.
All right. Well, this question, I guess, has become one of my signature questions, but Avery has also borrowed it. So it's her and I's question together.
All right.
But what are some of your biggest pet peeves?
Oh no. I think you ought to call up the other inspirations and ask them what that is. I know they'll tell you being late. That's one. We got some guys in our group that like to sleep till the last minute. I remind them of it constantly. No, I like being on time. I'll tell you, here's one musically. Now that's all silliness. I love all them guys, but in music, I never have liked someone that is playing over top of somebody. Like at some of these bluegrass jams I go to, you got people that will just play every lick they know, and it's kind of like saying a lot of words but not saying anything. And I like to define the melody and stick to that and play something that stands out and means something. I don't like people that just play a spray of notes, and I don't like recordings that sound that way either. But musicians will kind of know what I'm talking about there. So if you ever hear me try to play something real simple sounding, I'm trying to define that and not just play a bunch of licks. I try to play something that defines the song better. So that's a couple pet peeves, but I think I'm pretty easy to get along with. I don't.
Until Evan plays the G chord in the wrong shape on your guitar.
Okay, yeah, I don't like that G chord with the 4 fingers. I like it to have 3 fingers, and that's an old bluegrass thing. I don't like soundtracks in gospel music. That's a big one, but I know that gets controversial. But now, Evan, don't you sit there and make that chord now.
I will never forget you fussed at him, and that cracked me up for days.
I love it. Hey, Luke, you and I have some similar pet peeves. And it's all fun and good, but yeah, the late thing gets me. I have a motto: you either plan to be late or you plan to be on time. It's one or the other,
I'll tell you something funny that happened this weekend.
What's that?
We had a set time we were going to leave. We stayed at the church where we sang on Friday, and they had a little cabin there. They let us stay in, and we set our leaving time. And me and Wyatt were up and had coffee made, and we were ready to go. And we heard Isaac's alarm just going off, and him sleeping through it. He was probably just listening to it, but. Isaac had told me this sweet story the night before. We were sitting in that cabin. Isaac told me this story from his childhood, how he got in trouble at school one day. And when he got home from school, he thought his dad was going to bust his hind end or something. But instead, he set this plaque down in front of him that had a poem. And you can look it up. It's like, it says your family's name. And then it says, you got it from your father. You'll pass it to your son. And it rhymes, but it's talking about upholding your family name. And there was a line that said, a black mark on your name can never be erased or something.
Oh,
Isaac had told me that story, and it was so sweet. And it was just a great story. So while me and Wyatt were drinking our coffee, waiting on him to come out of the room, I just went up next to his room and I started reciting that poem. He came out and he got me good because it was about 9:02. Tony had the bus running out there, and he just opened the door and he said, "You're not on the bus."
Well,
yeah, that's good. Oh goodness, those alarms that just keep going, or the snooze. I don't set alarms. I'm weird. I never set alarm. My eyes, open up same time every day. So yeah, those alarms.
I could never trust myself to do that.
Nope.
Oh yeah.
A few weeks ago, Silas Fuller, one of my dear friends, he rode the bus with us, and he actually filled in for Roland a couple nights.
Yeah.
I looked at his phone one time, and he had an alarm. One was like 7:01, 7:03, 7:05.
No.
I teased him about that.
Oh, hey, yeah. Silas, he's a great young man. He's promoting some concerts and all.
He's one of my favorite people. Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
And sometimes I sleep for every one of them.
At 5:15 every morning, at least by 5:15, I'm awake. So I never have to set an alarm. So anyway, cool stuff. Man, I'm enjoying this, and we are having a good time. We got a big old crowd sitting in with us. Hey, y'all, thank you. We love y'all. Thank you for letting us into your home tonight. Share us with your friends. They may want to join in too. But right now, I know producer Jason's got a ton of things lined up. Luke, you get tired of us, you just hold up a white flag and we'll stop. But we got some folks wanting to ask a few things right quick from the Peanut Gallery. Kimberly Sheffield, Matt's question, Luke, if there is anyone past or present from a different group you haven't ever gotten to sing with, who would you like to collaborate with? That's a tough question.
I don't know about that. I've sung with all the Inspirations. I've sung with the Primitive Quartet. I've done stuff with them, done stuff with the old Singing Echoes, done stuff with the Spencers, with the Kingsmen. I've got to do lots of playing with the Kingsmen through the years. I've had lots of dreams like that, and I don't get too excited about it because God has allowed me to do so many cool things.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't think of anybody right off, but I know the Lord has allowed me to do so many cool things like that that I have dreamed about at one time. So I don't really know a specific group like that, but
You're blessed. Yeah, that's
but
good,
I'm just
though.
waiting for the next one.
There you go. Wait for the next one.
Next opportunity like that.
Yes,
He's
sir.
even gotten to play with me before.
I sure
Pretty
have.
Pretty big.
Bucket list right there. Rachel Baines chiming in, and we thank her for watching. That's producer Jason's wife. It's so important to learn and grow as we live the Christian life. What has God been teaching you lately?
To trust in Him, to step back and trust in Him. There's just been so many things that I don't have any control over.
Right.
And I try to meddle with them and control things as best I can, but I mess it up every time.
Mm.
And just seems like here lately, I really had to step back and let God handle things.
Yes, sir.
And I think that's everybody could do better at that.
Yes, sir. That's great.
And then as far as other spiritual things, something I've been really interested in lately with just personal Bible studies is studying how Jesus was in the Old Testament.
Mm-hmm.
How every little thing in the Old Testament, every Bible story that you've heard your whole life was ultimately a picture of Jesus and salvation to come later. And I've been saved for a long time, but when I go back and study things like that I've heard my whole life, and then I see how that was actually a picture of Jesus to come, it makes it more precious to me.
Amen.
So that's just something in personal Bible studies that I've been fascinated with here lately.
Thank you, Rachel, for that question. Wonderful question. Dale Forbes, Luke, do you guys sing any of the old Inspirations Christmas songs?
Yes.
Yeah, we do just about all of them. They made one Christmas album.
Right.
Then they recorded one extra Christmas song. They recorded What Child Is This on a Canaan Christmas album. A lot of people don't know about that one.
I was going to say, I don't even know about that one.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to find, but it's out there. Yeah, I'll tell you where I first started doing them. When Archie came back into the group, Archie doesn't mind soundtracks. Now, Martin Cook hated it, and I hate it. But Archie we were going to do this Christmas program at the Biblical Times Theater. And we were going to sing all the songs from that Christmas album, and Archie was going to play the soundtracks from it. And I wasn't about to do that. And I went and I learned every guitar lick from that album, note for note, and taught them to, I think Wyatt was playing the bass with us by that time. And I said, we're going to do whatever it takes to make sure this doesn't happen. And that didn't happen, and it's never been talked about since. So we're good. But we sing, I don't know how well, was that Dale Forbes? Was that who that?
Yes, it was. It was Dale Forbes.
Well, he knows that album, but we sing Good News. That's one of my favorite. And Evan, every time Evan comes to hear us, he requests it.
Yeah.
And we sing, we've sung that, Mama will be looking out.
That's the one I'm always on you about.
Yeah,
that
we
one
sing
too.
that one. I think we do "Oh Holy Night" off that album. We do "Beautiful Star Bethlehem." We do "Christmas at Calvary," and I think we tried that. This is the Christmas story. I think we might have tried that one once or twice.
Have y'all ever done Christmas is for Everyone where Mike does the Santa Claus impersonation?
We could like stumble through it, but we'd have to have the words for that.
That's a fun
I love
one.
the piano kickoff to that, and a lot of times around Christmas time, I'll play that when we're setting up, and Roland will take off singing it, and then he'll forget the words, and then we just never learn it. But someday we'll probably try it.
That one's fun too.
We did a Christmas program last year at in Pigeon Forge, and it kind of forced me. See, I picked the set when we're singing, and it forced me to really consider how to make a set, because we don't just sing a bunch of Christmas songs, and we did the ones off the Christmas album that we sing, but I took a song, I put Rose Among the Thorns in there. You know, it talks a little bit about Christ being born,
Yes.
2,000 years ago. It talks about that. I put in, I can't remember some of the other songs. It's songs that we sing every night, but you can really tie them back into Jesus coming.
Yes.
He sent him for me.
I love that song.
You can make that
Yes.
tie in with a Christmas theme in a set. And I really prayed about that when we did that, and I thought that set turned out pretty good. But I do stuff. I try to make the songs tie in together. And then we sung Jesus is Coming Soon on the end. I said that Jesus came once. That's what we've been singing about. But the main thing is he's coming again. So we lit right into Jesus is Coming Soon at the end of that.
Nice.
And I thought that really, I hope that spoke to somebody. It helped me just to think about the words that we sing.
That's good. So good. Thank you for that question. Margaret Duckett, is Luke going to do another instrumental CD? Love his playing.
Yeah. Now, Margaret is one of my favorite people. I've eaten with her at Cracker Barrel in Candler, North Carolina before. But yes, I'm working on it. I've actually got one or two things recorded on this very computer that I'm talking on right here. This is where I do my recordings. But I actually, last week on the road, I had a scrap piece of paper and I wrote down 2 songs on each instrument that I want to put on there. And I kind of have been brainstorming what I want to play on certain instruments. So I've in the process of kind of getting that started. And I've got 2 songs that are partially recorded here.
Nice.
Look forward to that. That's great.
I don't know when it'll be. I'm not in a big hurry to do it, but I feel like I need to.
Absolutely. We would love it. Hannah Bradford, what inspirations memorabilia do you own beside vinyls?
I've got all kinds of stuff.
A little bit of everything is what I was thinking. All of it is a good answer.
What is the coolest thing you own?
I've got Jack Law's bear tie. I think it's hanging right here. It's probably on the bus. It's on the bus.
Is that the one you were singing in the Smokies last year?
I probably did. I think when
blue and stuff with bears on it.
Got bears on it. Jack gave me that whenever he came off the road for the last time back in 2010.
Oh
wow!
And actually, 2009 is when that was. Yeah, that was the end of 2009. I've got that, and I've got some of Martin's suits that he used to wear with us. I've got a cross pin that I wear a lot today that was Martin's, and I've got another one that was Ronnie Hutchins. I can't pick this computer up and take you in the next room, but just behind this wall, I have the Inspirations piano that was in their office that they rehearsed around all through the 70s, 80s, 90s. And it's the one that Squire Parsons showed them Beulah Land on when he first wrote it. It's the one that Joyce Croft showed them so many of the songs, like Footsteps, some of, Flow Through Me, some of those songs. And it's autographed on the inside by Archie, Ronnie, Jack, and Mike, and Martin. And if I just could get Troy to come to my house, I'd have him sign it. Yeah. So I'd have all the original group there. But that's a pretty cool thing. I've got some old microphones that belong to the Smoky Mountain Quartet, which was Jack and Archie's uncle, Walter Law's group. And I've got all the records. I've got Through the Gates, and all of them are autographed by all the members. Just stuff like that. I'm really into that. I've got, of course, that black bass that I carry on the road a lot. That was the one the old bear hunter used to play back in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got lots of homemade recordings. That's something I'm always looking for, is every now and then people will bring me like an old cassette tape that they recorded back in the 70s of the group, or the 80s or something.
Oh, that's neat. Yeah.
I've got in fact, I've got a box right here. This whole box is, a lady brought me these. That's concerts from the 70s, and one goes back to the 60s.
Wow.
There's some Kingswood stuff on here, Evan, too. But
please send. Please send.
I was going to say, Evan, did you ever
like
sing?
that.
that you had about from inspiration from like the
no, because
80s?
I've not seen him between now and then. I also got my hands on some, so remind me next time I see you, and I'll get you some of those.
All right.
I think
Cool.
they're more from like the 80s and 90s, but there's a really cool one when Two Shoes had just came out.
Yeah.
It's like a recording of it. I know that one's a little bit in the modern era, but it was when it first came out, and you can like hear the crowd gasp to the reaction of the song because it was so brand new. It was kind of cool.
Yeah. I'll tell you something else cool I forgot I had. I was changing the strings on my pedal steel guitar just about 2 weeks ago. I went to a pedal steel guitar jam. That's a whole nother thing, but I wanted to change the strings on there, and I've got a box of spare strings. I was going through it, and down in there I found a whole wad of papers, and it was set lists that Martin wrote during the time I've been with the group. And now Martin didn't go by a list, but a lot of times when we'd be at something like the Memphis Quartet show or a quartet convention or something, he would jot down the songs he wanted to do on a piece of paper, because I had to kick a lot of them off on the steel guitar or the guitar. And I saved a lot of those set lists that Martin hand wrote. Sometimes they're on a paper towel. Sometimes they're on a Inspirations mailing list card or a Singing News cover or something. But I've got a lot of those that I've saved. And he would write he would write footsteps, and then he'd say new, and that meant if you only knew, and then forgotten, have not forgotten. You know, he would write just one word like that. Ladder. He'd write that.
That's fantastic. That kind of stuff is fascinating to me. The set list and stuff like that. That's good.
Sentimental and saved a lot of junk like that, but it's pretty neat to look back on it.
I'm a light collector, but probably the most albums. Well, I have every Inspiration album except one. I'm missing one, and hopefully I'll come across it one day. And
Is
then,
it Through the Gates?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You'll find that somebody will hook you up. You're popular enough on here. You'll get the word out there. I can't give you mine. Mine was Jack's copy, and I can't let it go.
Absolutely. One cool thing, let's see, right up there. I was coming by y'all's table, the very first pack of table photos that y'all did, and Isaac pulled one out, and y'all signed it, and then Roland put it on the back and inscribed it like number one. That's the first picture y'all ever had as the group as you were. So that's special.
Isaac just made a new batch of pictures.
Okay, I got to update then.
Yeah, he's got. I think it's like we're wearing a black. The tuxedo, I think we're wearing.
Yeah, cool. I'm a picture collector. I love the old and the new.
I think it's vertical though, so I don't know if it'll fit on your wall back there. It's kind of.
Oh, it will.
Oh, you got that kind. Okay, yeah.
I've got them all different. It'll fit.
I've not seen them yet, so I don't know.
Well, let's pull up one more question and then get back to our panel. Let's see, Wayne Triplett, this is a good question. How do you and the group select and narrow down potential songs for your new projects?
All right. A lot of prayer goes into that because, we get lots of songs sent to us, and I wish people would send more.
I sent one and it still hasn't been recorded. I didn't write it, but
I remember that. No, a lot of people have sent songs, but I wish we would get some more. It's kind of tapered off. People are not sending as many. But, of course, we sing a lot of older songs, so they might think we're looking for older songs. But we just try to record songs that speak to us and mean something to us. And the first one that the group, as it is now, recorded that wasn't just a live album was that Pioneer Legacy album. And we had been singing a lot of old Inspiration songs that the group hadn't done in a lot of years. And we decided to put several of those on the recording. And then there was a song that Wyatt was just absolutely fired up over. He loved that I Have God to Thank for Everything. And so we worked up an arrangement of that and put it on there. But they could come from anywhere. That album, the legacy continues. Roland loves that song, I'm Going That Way. They sing it at his church a lot.
Mhm.
And so we worked up a quartet arrangement of that.
That's a good arrangement.
Some of them are songs that Ronnie Henson just pitched to us, like that Sea of Forgetfulness or Red Sea Miracle. Some of them, those he just flat out sat us down and sang them to us, and we learned them from that. Isla Knight is a person. Now, here's something interesting. When the four of us became the group, we tried to seek out some of those older writers that had written some of our favorite inspiration songs. And Isla Knight was one of those that the group had recorded so many of hers. And so
amazing.
We were already singing a bunch of hers, but she wrote several new ones for it, like that Come to the Well, or not.
Yes.
No, that's Ronnie Henson. Come to Me. I'm sorry.
Come to Me. Yeah.
She wrote that.
What a song.
That was a special song to us. She wrote I'm Walking with Jesus.
Really?
That one's good.
Yeah,
She
great
wrote,
songs.
and then Joyce Croft is another. I recorded a song that her and Colbert wrote called I Can See Calvary. And she's the same one that her and her husband wrote Footsteps and The First Million Years and so many songs like that.
Didn't they write, I know it's not an inspiration song necessarily, but the I Can't Even Walk.
That's your most well-known song.
Yeah.
Yep.
I got to meet her at NQC a couple years ago, and she is so sweet. Like
She
she's
came
so
to hear
fun.
us Saturday. She
Really?
came to hear us Saturday. Yep.
Wait, I was there Saturday. Was she there?
I'm sorry, Friday. Friday.
Oh, I was like, how did I miss her?
I'm sorry, it was
I
Friday.
know Marion Easterling's son was there.
Yeah, that's
That was
the
cool.
man whose his dad wrote "Wake Up to Sleep No More" and "Rainbow of Love." He was in the audience.
Yeah,
So
that was
he
cool.
sang a bunch of those.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Hey, and look, producer Jason is telling me I said one more, but he's asking for. He said one more because he said that Mr. Pat, I think Pat Barker, has a question to put up. This may have already been asked. Oh, so you hadn't been here the whole time, huh, Pat? This may have already been asked, but who came up with the phrase "the young inspirations"? Was that given by promoters and fans, or was that something the group came up with?
No, we didn't want to say that because we didn't start a new group. We just me and Roland and Wyatt were already had already been in the Inspirations several years, and Archie and Eddie Dietz and Marlon Schubert didn't feel safe traveling what few dates we had during that summer after COVID. So we just filled the dates that we already had, and with Isaac singing tenor. But the first person I remember using that phrase was Roland's wife, Nikki.
Okay.
And I remember she posted a picture of us and said the young inspirations. And I think she was the first one to say that. I may be wrong on that, but it worked pretty well, you know. And that was a God thing because it's so hard for someone to just the way that all happened. The fans accepted us.
Yes.
And I, you know, you couldn't hardly do that with anybody else, but just they understood that Archie and them couldn't be on the road. So that they already understood that, but then they liked what we were doing. And we tried to honor that sound and the music that we had already been a part of, but we tried to take it even farther back to its roots. And the old time fans really appreciated that.
Absolutely.
And then it made us a lot of new fans that thought what we were doing was new. So, yeah.
Me. I am one of the new fans. I don't claim to know the old stuff because I thought Wake Up to Sleep No More was a song I picked up from a local group I knew.
Eagles Wings. Eagles Wings. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go see them in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm the old guy in this bunch who's been listening to Inspiration since the early 70s. Cut my teeth on that. But I remember that, you know, that was quite a time. Somebody had posted a question about a fun road story. We hadn't got to that yet, but I could almost have a good fun story with you guys because right in between, I know that the singing with Dwayne Guerin out in Missouri really popped for you guys during those first few months. And then of course the NQC Fall Festival, that was a really special time as well. But I interviewed Isaac and Wyatt.
Yeah.
While y'all were on, you're laughing. You probably remember. Yeah, you remember that. But I interviewed them just as it was really getting going and started. And I wondered when I was talking to them at one point because I was asking them something kind of serious. We were on kind of a serious spiritual matter. And they got tickled and had a little trouble. And actually, I think if I recall, I had to edit 3 minutes and 40 seconds of laughing out of the podcast that I did. And then finally, Isaac showed me a video of why that they were laughing, and you had a little something to do with that. But anyway,
I had a pillow stuffed in my shirt, and I was walking around the hotel room just big and fat, just trying to make them laugh. And
you did. It worked. Because I'm thinking, what in the world? I just asked like a pretty, straight question, and like, what in the world?
I waited till you started talking about just important stuff, and then I am so sorry. Thank you.
That is great. Yeah, now we're on camera. We can't do such as that. But anyway, all right. Hey, look, do you have? You tell me on time. Do you have time for another round of questions with our guys?
I'm fine. Whatever
and
y'all
girls. Want. All right. Well, y'all take off. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying it a lot.
So, someone's already asked the question I had prepared, so I'm gonna revert, and I'm just gonna go off the top of my head of a question, and that's real dangerous right there.
Don't put the superhero question back.
I'm not gonna do the superhero question. I'll do this. You have gotten to play at a lot of really cool events throughout your years of gospel music. What is an event that sticks out to you, or a concert that has stuck out to you in all these years of traveling?
A lot of the auditoriums and places like that are really cool. I love old theaters, old auditoriums like that. I love the history of a lot of those places. But what stands out to me are some of the services we've been in, just some of the feeling in there. We had one just the other night in Bristol, Virginia, and we've sung at that church. In fact, it's the oldest date we have. The Inspirations have sung there every year since, I think, 1967.
Wow.
I've been there a bunch, but just that service was so sweet in there. People were just really, everyone was really in tune, and I feel like the Lord was lifted up in a big way there. Cool. And that's just something recent that stands out. That singing in the Smokies when Wyatt sang that Sea of Forgetfulness last year, that was a really special night.
Yeah.
The year before, Kyle Goodson had invited me. He was like third row, and I'd been sitting near the back kind of all week, just kind of walking around. And I remember when y'all did It's Still the Blood. I want to say the overall night, maybe, I'm not really even sure. But I have never, like, the day I got saved and that day is the 2 days that I have, like, that had that feeling. I was like, that is a taste of heaven right there.
Yeah. See, that's kind of what I was talking about. When you stay in this long enough, you'll just about get to do all the stuff. You'll play on the opera, you'll play at Quartet Convention, you'll do all the cool things that you hear about, but stuff like that's what really means something. And that's what will stand out in someone's mind, and the Lord uses stuff like that in a big way. Stuff that some people think is a joke. God can take it and make it a big deal.
Absolutely.
And that's the kind of things I remember the most.
It's cool. That's really cool.
That's
and
awesome.
It shows the heart that you have in a concert. Sorry, Aaron, I didn't mean to speak in front of you, but that just shows the heart that you have on stage. That it's not so much about the venue, but it's about you, or not that it's about the Lord and not you. You know what I'm saying? That shows a lot of character, man.
Yeah, you got to get yourself out of the way to do it right. Yeah. Now you can do it other ways, but it don't work as good.
Right.
Well, that was a really sweet moment, and now I'm going to go in a totally different direction.
Okay.
Sorry. I was like, that's really kind of sweet. So we talked about you like to work on cars, you like to do that kind of thing. I know you also do some tractors as well, because there's tractors in Kentucky with my name, and I think that is so cool.
Yeah.
So what is maybe a car or a tractor that you don't have in your collection that you would like, it's like a dream to have that in your collection?
I've got too much stuff, and I need to get rid of some stuff. But I don't know. I can't think of that. My grandpa was a collector of that kind of thing, and he passed away several years ago, but we've still got pretty much all his stuff. And I don't know that I want more. I just want to fix some of the ones that we've got.
Yeah.
He had a 1931 Model A Ford Roadster, and that was his first antique car that he bought. He bought it in the 50s and restored it, and it was just special to him and our family. And that one will eventually get passed down to me. And out of all the cars that's in our family, that one, I would like to see it kind of at least made to where it could be driven and kept up.
Nice.
But that's just a family thing.
The Roadsters, it's kind of like the cars you see in like Bonnie and Clyde type of things, or am I thinking of a different type?
Yeah, with a rumble seat. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Rumble seat.
Cool. Before I ask my question, I did track down the album cover that I tracked down for Avery because she needed it for a game or something, and I guess she knows that I have no life, and so I know this stuff. But it was the Blackwood Brothers. It was the Blackwood Brothers Learning to Lean album. They've got those nice banana yellow suits, so that's something that you can bring to the next photo shoot. And there's another album that they did the same suits.
It's not that bad. It's just a soft yellow.
So anyway, there's your idea for the next photo shoot. If you had somebody that you were introducing to this music for the first time, they have no idea what gospel music is. What are 3 projects that you would recommend that they listen to just to get an idea of what gospel music is?
I would play that Warner Robins Live Inspirations album.
There you go.
And one of the ones that really got me introduced to it, got me hooked to it, was the Statesman singing I Want to Know from the On Stage album that was recorded at the Ryman Auditorium. I had that on a cassette tape when I was real young, and that one song, and I later learned that it came from a bigger album, and that really kind of defines that sound to me and that time period and the feel of it. So those are 2 albums that I think really portray what we do. Obviously,
you got one more.
Oh, did you say 3? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I grew up with a cassette tape of the Cathedral Quartet. Me and my sister used to jump on the bed to it, and it had all the basic cathedral songs like This Old House and Blood Wash Band, stuff like that. And
there you go.
That's not my favorite style, but I love it. I mean, that was a good introduction to that kind of music. I don't even know what album it was. It was some kind of greatest hits thing.
There you go. Well, This Old House is good jumping on the bed soundtrack.
Yeah.
That upbeat orchestra and all that, so I get it.
Oh, dog lies sleeping. That's my favorite line.
All right, I guess it's my turn. So you've kind of dropped already some pearls tonight, is what my family says. You drop pearls. It means good advice. Wow. Yeah. So, but I'm going to give you an opportunity. What might be some advice that you would give to either young people that are already in Southern gospel music, or maybe young people who are wanting to get into Southern gospel music?
Okay. Well, if you're already in it, which I think that's what this group really tries to do, is encourage the young people that's in gospel music already. Just keep it all about the Lord and try to lift him up, and don't try to brag on yourself. Always try to keep that in mind every time you sing. It's hard to do sometimes, but that's what you got to do. But those that are not in it, I really feel like it's not healthy just to say to jump in it. You might have a heart for the Lord and want to do something like that, but that doesn't mean that you're called to be a gospel singer. If God has given you a special talent, you need to work on that and do it to honor him, to glorify him.
Amen.
not to get ahead with a group or get into the world of Southern gospel music. But if you work on that and glorify the Lord with it, if He wants you to travel and sing with a group, He'll make a way for that to happen.
Absolutely.
Right.
So I think if you're just wanting to get into it, you're missing the mark. If you have a talent and God opens a door to it, you need to do that. But don't just try to get into it because you want to be in a group, and you may love what the Inspirations do or the Kingsmen or any group. You may love that so much and think, well, I could do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. But that may not be the most effective thing that God has for you to do.
Amen.
That's
But
good.
what talents He's given you, try to make that the best it can be for His sake. And then He can open a door if that's what He wants you to do. That's what He did for me. I didn't want to do this. And I never planned on doing anything like this. But I just worked on my talent that He gave me all the time because I loved it. And it brought me joy. That's one thing it did. But I also saw that I could use that for Him. And then He just it just fell in my lap doing this. All I did was go hear the Inspirations one time, and the promoter of the singing, Jeff Sneed, asked me to play a song on the piano. And that's how Martin met me. And next thing I know, a month later, he invited me to come to a singing where they were going to be and bring a guitar and play with them. And it literally just fell into my lap, and that was God working all that out, because I didn't audition for anybody or go pester a group about wanting to sing all the time. Obviously, it's cool to be on stage and do that, but if that's what's driving you, you're going to be fighting it the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It's got to be something God puts you in
Right.
for it to work in this music. Now, other kind of music, it's not like that, but we're talking about singing the gospel, presenting the gospel in song. That's a big deal, and God takes that serious, and you've got to take it serious if that's what you're going to do.
Right. That was
That's
some great
great.
advice.
That's great wisdom. Absolutely. And when God calls, He's going to equip, and He's going to provide, and He's going to open the doors, and He's going to bless. And if you try to take a chisel and a hammer and make it happen, it's just the blessings and the anointing is not going to be there. So that's great wisdom. Thank you for sharing that. I love for our young folks to hear things like that. And when you're called to it, you'll know it.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that 100% as well. I was talking with a young lady that I guess you would say does this, sings, I guess, part-time professionally. I don't know if that's a such thing or what, but, wrestling with the next stage in life. But in the talk and conversation, she kept going back to, I know I'm called to be in the ministry. I know I'm called to sing. Even though wrestling through next stages of life, there was no doubt in her heart that she was called and had the touch of the Lord leading her to sing. And that makes all the difference in the world. So I love it. I love those kind of questions. Tiffany, that's one of my favorite questions you asked. Thanks for asking that.
Thank you for that, Tiffany. I appreciate you pointing it in that direction there. That's good.
Well, Brother Luke, you've been put on the spot by us. You've been put on the spot by some fans who have been watching. Way back yonder, even before your episode in season 1, we were interviewing, and it got flipped on us. Like, well, hey, I want to ask y'all a question, and kind of put us on the spot. So we have, ever since that time, given the opportunity to our guest, if you would like to ask us a group question or individual question, just to let you turn the tables and put us on the spot. If you want to, you don't have to, but if you want to.
Well, I'll kind of ask it to all of you. Aaron, I know you've sung in quartets for years. Evan, you do music. You minister in a lot of nursing homes, stuff like that. I've seen you do lots of things like that. Avery, I know you're on the radio. Mm-hmm. You've helped promote singings and helped volunteer at singings. And Tiffany, I've never been around your group, but I know that you sing with your family. What is some ways that each of you have seen the Lord work through what you do? how he's used each of your personal ministries related to gospel music. What are some ways that is?
Oh, okay. Go, Evan.
This came to mind first. Y'all know I do a lot of stuff in nursing homes and such, and I'll do, I don't like to say it, but I impersonate Elvis and stuff, and where people are, well, that's not a ministry, it's just Elvis and rock and roll stuff. One night there was this lady that was wheeled into the room, and by no powers of me, because I cannot make someone walk. I can't make someone who's stuck in a wheelchair walk. This lady, without anybody telling her, here's the music, stands up and starts to kind of move a little bit and starts to kind of feel the music. And in that moment, I was like, God is the only person who can gift music. No one else could give us that gift. And that's something I've been studying on a lot recently, is the gift of music and how special it is, and how music was used throughout the Bible to help situations. I mean, the walls of Jericho literally fell because of music and the power that God used through music. And so that's why I love seeing is memory care, because that's a lot of what I do, is seeing those people who don't even remember their name, remember How Great Thou Art, Peace in the Valley, stuff like that, and seeing them move, those who are crippled up, being able to move through the spirit of music.
That's great. What about the rest of y'all?
I'll piggyback off what Evan said. And years ago, I read it was some psychological study that was about the effect that music has on the brain, and it hits different areas that other things can't reach. And I've heard it said a lot that music will reach people that a sermon never would. Like, people that wouldn't darken the door of a church to come hear a sermon will come to a concert, even if they're not a believer necessarily. And I spent 10 years of Promised Land on the road, and now I'm with Justified. And, we never, in either group, we'd never take for granted that everybody we're singing to is a believer. I can remember one of the last concerts that Promised Land did, there was this, she had to be 15, 16, something like that, came down to the altar at the end of the service, and we were given the invitation. And it's been a long time since I've seen someone that broken come to the altar. And I mean, it was like a literal stain of tears on the carpet when she got up. And it was one of those deals where she had a praying grandma that used to come out of the hills there in West Virginia and come to the church and pray over her family, and specifically pray over her granddaughter. And that was like years of prayers answered that night, because her granddaughter gave her heart to Jesus. And it was one of those things where, and I'm sure you've been in this situation, you can look out from the platform and see how something is working on somebody in the crowd, whether they just look like they don't want to be there, or they look like something's really tugging at it. It was one of those deals. Like, she had that look from pretty much the time we started singing. So being able to be used in that capacity, from the day I got saved, I knew I was called to minister in this aspect. And so getting to do that part of it's cool, but also getting to share stuff that I've been through and be reminded that we still serve a God who cares about us on an individual level, even though he's the ruler of the world. He's the creator of the universe, and still cares about us on an individual level. He'll still heal. Long story short, I got healed of epilepsy and medication side effects miraculously one morning when we were singing, and got to share that testimony. And I can't tell you how many times, this is back when I was at Promised Land, that I got to share all this. But people that had been struggling with that stuff for years, and having them tell me that the Lord used my testimony to encourage them that there's still hope in their situation. And I mean, who am I to be used that way? I mean, who are any of us, but especially me? I hope that everybody who's watching this that gets to do what we're doing on the singing thing doesn't take our duty lightly.
Amen.
I mean, we're entrusted with such a gift and such a mission field. I just hope that we never lose sight of it. So
that's good.
Amen.
Yeah.
Tiff, you want to go, or you want me to go?
I can go. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Okay. So I do sing with my family, but my full-time job is I'm an elementary school teacher.
Mhm.
And I just finished my 3rd year. So my first year, I had, it was probably a month into the school year. One of my students put a letter on my desk, and I was like, okay, I'll read it, cute little note. I opened it up, and it was from one of the girls in my class, and she told me that she knew that she needed to be in my class because I was a Christian and she is a Christian, and she needed to be in my room.
Yeah, that's good.
And so it ended up, my family singing has opened a lot of doors with my students. It's given me a lot of opportunities when they're like, Miss Roby, we want to hear you sing. And that's a way for me to just minister to them. There's a whole bunch of them actually subscribed to our Southern Gospel Forward YouTube channel from this past year.
Awesome.
So,
My mom was a first grade teacher, and so she's had
it's-
stories like that, and used to bring me. I used to get to go play for the elementary school kids quite a bit
Aw.
when she was still there.
Yeah, it's opened up quite a whole other mission field. As much as I love singing. It's probably one of my favorite things to do, but as of right now, my calling is more towards teaching and that being my mission field. And I get to touch however many lives in a span of a year. And it's been, this past year was a struggle for me, but every year I set the tone that I go through and I anoint every single one of my kids' desks. We anointed my classroom this year because I just knew it was going to be a rough year. And I have seen, there have been so many doors opened this year that I've just been able to be a light to these kids. And I think that's where I've seen the Lord move the most, is in my classroom.
That's great.
That's great.
Yeah. So I do a lot of different things. I do this, I do the radio show. I help at Singing in the Smokies to volunteer and stuff. I do that at a couple of other events, help people promote some concerts and things. I do a lot of that, to build community, because for a long time it was like me and my family liked gospel singings and we would go, but we didn't know anybody. And going through high school, your friends don't go to gospel concerts, and even in college, they're like, oh, we're going, to such and such restaurants. Do you want to go with us? It's like, sorry, I can't tonight. I'm going to a gospel singing. And then they look at you like you have 3 heads. So I wanted to build community because I think community is incredibly important in this stage of our lives, just because we are peculiar people. We don't fit in with the rest of the world, and we shouldn't. But it gives us people that encourage us. So I've been encouraged by people both through Forward, through these singings that I go to, through helping volunteer at these kind of places. And then I'm able to minister to people, I'll be able to see them and they'll go, you had no idea how much I needed to see you and your smile and your warm nature. We were having a rough week, and, it was like comfort. And it's the same way for me. I've had a rough week and they'll say something that they didn't even know I needed at the time. And so I really enjoy doing that. I enjoy just fellowshipping with people because this world is so isolated, and as Christians, we're even more isolated. So that's why I do what I do. And I try to just create a community where people love on each other, they pray for each other, and they care about one another.
That's great.
Good
I'm
stuff.
proud of all of y'all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Thanks for asking them those questions. I'm proud of them too. It is a blessing to be a part of this group, and I'm thankful for it. And I've had a wonderful night. I really needed this. I tell you, the last, it's amazing when we walk through. Yeah, well, when we walk through life, and it's, it's so easy to get self-consumed, I think is the words I'm looking for. Self-consumed. The world revolves around us, our lives, our drama, our situations, and can feel the weight of the world, and then come together like what Avery just said in a community like this, and be lifted up and encouraged. I don't have I've sung in groups, I've sung solo, I've led church music for years, but I love the fact of a few years ago through the friendship with Tammy and Arthur and starting some stuff with SGMA and then moving on even to this, the opportunity just to encourage people. I need encouragement terribly from day to day. You can always put on the facade and the smiling face and like you're handling everything just right, but walking through some pretty bad steps. And I need encouragement, and I'm thankful that the Lord has allowed me to maybe do that for some others. That's one thing that I hear a lot from artists and fans, and I hope that's true. I hope that when I'm around, maybe it's a plus, it's a uplifting thing and not a burden. I never want to be a burden on anyone. So,
I see that out of you. Yeah. I appreciate you being that way.
Well, that's one sticking, and that's a sticking part of Southern Gospel Forward. Now, and Avery said community. We are a community of all when it comes to Southern Gospel, and we don't isolate. We love all of our artists, all of the fans, no matter what kind of style you like, you don't like. We love it all, and we want to uplift all. Everybody's welcome.
I think this is a good way to do it too. Social media. I've got some social media, but I don't use it that much really to post anything. But I think this is a healthier way to do some of that. And this is a healthier way for some of the people who love this music to find out about personal things about some of the artists rather than trying to ask them every question in the world and try to figure out what side of the bed they woke up on and that sort of thing. You come on here and they can ask things, and this is just a better way to do it, I think.
Oh, I love it. I love the laid back atmosphere we have. I love, I have got to meet so many of you and learn about you and for the ones the fans who watch, truth be told, now Southern Gospel music better be all about the Lord. I mean, you've said it several times tonight, Luke, and that's got to be the central thing. But the truth of the matter is through the years of watching fans, if fans aren't careful, sometimes they can make their favorite singers and their favorite groups an idol. I mean, they actually start really almost like worshiping them instead of what we're supposed to be doing. And I love the fact that seeing you guys like this gives an opportunity to see real people, real life, hear the hearts and see that there's something. It's not just standing up on that stage. And like you referenced the ones who want to do it just because it looks fun or it looks like it'd be fun to do, but actually getting to see, the realness and giving you guys a chance to minister in a different way. I think it's fantastic for the Southern Gospel music fans to see that.
We want you to like our music. I want you to love the Inspirations. I want it to be your favorite group, but that's just me. But the main thing is you've got to, if you want to do it, you've got to want to do it for the Lord and not for, don't go out and buy a suit that matches ours and think that that's what it takes to do that. God has to put you in that position.
Perfectly said. Perfectly said. I've enjoyed the night so much. Hey, Luke, I don't want to put you heavy on the spot, but we have a giveaway. Every week we've got a sponsor for a giveaway, and we've got one tonight. And you are just such a wonderful source of trivia for inspirations. I mean, you're just an inspiration historian. Without making it too hard, would you maybe come up with like a little trivia question of inspirations and see if someone can answer it for our giveaway? Tonight's giveaway, by the way, is sponsored, as it is from week to week, by Volunteer Music Hall of Fame. You can go to www.thevolunteerstatemusichallofame.com to learn all about them. And we've got two, my phone closed. Got two projects from our sponsor. Daniel's giving away a Paul Harkey project, Old Man River, and then Tyler Vestal instrumental, Oceans of Peace. So two projects given away. Luke, could you give us just a little trivia question to our viewers that we got watching, see if they can answer it for the giveaway? Is that too much on the spot? I know you can make it really hard. Probably don't need to be terribly hard.
Yeah. Who was the bass player when Jack had to start singing baritone in the 80s on the two live albums?
I know. Right.
Who was the bass player when Jack?
Do I just go ahead and answer it, or how's this work?
Yeah, hold
Not
on.
yet, not yet.
We're gonna let the comments come up and see if we get a.
You just need to holler when the right answer pops up.
You can see our comments, can't you? Oh,
Yeah,
I think it's in there.
Last comment I see is from my mom there.
Okay.
She's talking about Tiffany being a teacher there. That makes me happy that I didn't know she was watching.
We've got some answers. We've got
Owen, I love you, but it's not Myron.
You got Myron Cook.
Got
that's what most people are going to think. I love you, Owen, but that ain't
Troy Burns.
No, it's not Troy.
Not Troy. Okay.
Troy was the first bass player.
Okay.
C.D. Burns was a rhythm guitar player. Oh, boy, I did ask a good one.
You did ask a good one. This is whipping
I
a
know
little
the man
bit.
that will know it is watching, but
we'll keep
my
watching
answer
here.
is wrong.
Roger Fortner has been guessed. That's
Nope.
not it. That's not it. No.
Kenny has got it. I don't think Kenny wants to answer. He knows the answer, but
Well, he could answer and get these if he wants them.
I was trying to think myself. You stumped me. You said on the Singing in the Smokies albums, the two.
Yeah, he's the bass player. He's in a picture on the back. He's playing that black Ampeg.
Everybody going to southerngospelhistory.com and looking it up?
No,
I don't even know
really
if it's right on there. It may not be on there.
We have
if it's
gone
not,
dead.
I'm gonna fix that because I'm an editor.
We have gone dead in the comments, y'all. Nobody has it. His last name was Childers, wasn't it? Somebody said that.
Yep, that sure is.
That's it.
Oh.
Yep. That's it.
That's what it said,
Just
Lyndon
about the time they
Childers.
commented.
Lyndon Childers was his name.
All right, we're going to give it to Miss Linda Green Martin. She was
That's
the one
great.
who put up that first. So, Linda Green Martin, you are a winner tonight. If you will, please don't put it in the comments here because we don't want to be sharing you with everybody else. But if you will send us a direct message on Southern Gospel Forward, or you send it to me, Scott Bolden. If you'll just send us your mailing address, we will give that to our sponsor, and he will send you your prizes. Hey, that was a pretty stiff question there, Brother Luke.
Well, see, Jack was the bass player, but Eddie left to go into evangelism. So Jack became the baritone singer again. And see, they still had Roger and Dale playing guitar and steel.
Yeah.
And so Martin hired Lyndon Childers to play the bass. And he would come out and sing Rose Among the Thorns and How Great Thou Art and some things. But he was only there a few months. And then Myron came after that.
That was my answer, was Myron. I loved getting to meet him and Miss Aura Blanche at Singing in the Smokies this past year. I gleaned so much from her.
Yeah, Aura Blanche has called me about every week here lately. We're very close. She talks
Is
to
she
me.
coming back to Singing in the Smokies?
Oh, yeah. And Michael's coming again, too, I think.
Wonderful. Yeah, I love spending time with her. She's such a precious lady.
Yeah, I believe the first time I actually got to see the Inspirations live, Myron was already playing the bass.
Yeah.
So that was on in there.
Yep.
And that was a good one. Now, that almost I'm gonna be honest, I was looking for the answer because I had no idea. That was,
you go look at those albums on the first Singing in the Smokies album, you can see his picture on the back.
Okay.
And I've got a copy of every Inspirations newsletter, and there was a newsletter picture that had him in it.
Okay.
Group picture.
Well,
Riley said this would be a great time to tell you about our Singing in the Smokies. You're right, Riley. It would be a good segue.
And that's exactly where we are. Now, Luke, we appreciate you for taking all this time with us tonight, but we love to give you an opportunity to talk about, things coming up for the Inspirations and anything you'd like to talk, to promote. We've got some artwork we can share with our folks, but let's talk about Singing the Smokies and just what's going on with the Inspirations.
Yeah. Well, the Singing in the Smokies, the dates are the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Got it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't have that flyer in front of me, but you can see the groups they've got there. Of course, we'll be singing every night, and the Troy Burns family will be there. Dixie Echoes. Now, the Resurrection Quartet there is Matt Dabler and Melton Campbell. And I think they'll have Darren Osborne and Mike Holcomb singing.
Okay.
I heard a rumor it might be John Epley, too. I don't know.
Ooh.
Okay.
And then
Excellent.
Newground, they're from Alabama, I believe.
Yeah,
They are. They're from Scottsboro.
That's boy, that's a heavy Alabama night there.
Yeah.
Then we've got Down East Boys will be there. Jeff Talbert and Primitive Road, featuring Isaac's little brother Elisha, and the Bible Tones.
Yeah.
And then the last night is the Kingsmen, and I think they're going to do the band again, and I get to play with them that night.
Sure. Yeah, that night will be a 70th anniversary tour. We've been working on stuff all day for that. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be really cool.
Well, you need to tell me what songs they're doing.
Well, okay, I'll
do
send
that
you
later.
some stuff.
Okay. And then, of course, Anthem Edition and Jeff Talbert and Primitive Road again. And I'll probably play with them too. I usually sit in with them too. But that's some of our dear friends, some of the best groups you'll ever want to hear. But if you go to Troy Burns' website, that's singinginthesmokies.com, Troy and them will get you your tickets fixed up. They're kind of
when you get there, I'll sit you down.
Are you doing that again this year?
I am. Yeah.
I thought it wore you out last year.
It did wear me out, but I've had time to recover.
It's been a whole year.
It's been a whole year.
Well, I was wore out after those late night jam sessions and the chapel
Early morning
services
chapel.
immediately after that.
Yeah. Them kids got to let you sleep sometime, Luke.
One of the most fun nights we ever had. We had our jam session, like picking bluegrass instruments, but then after that died out, a bunch of us, and Aaron was involved in that, but a bunch of us got out there and we recreated the entire Warner Robbins live album. We went in order of the songs. Jonathan Rigdon was singing tenor, so we about busted him, but it was fun. And then we broke into Kingsman stuff featuring Aaron at tenor and bass.
Yeah, that was an experience.
But now that's not on the program. That's just
I wish somebody had recorded that, but they didn't.
Yeah.
And then I think we did some singing echo stuff. Well, y'all did. I didn't know it enough to sing it, but you did some singing echo stuff with Rebecca Shields.
That's I love the singing echoes.
That was good. It's real good.
And she can sing all that stuff.
I love the tubing I don't ever stay up late because I've been working all day long, and so I can't. I've never been able to do an all-nighter, and I just can't. So I always go to bed. But the tubing during the day is so fun. The softball game is very competitive. So if you can't stay up late,
Isaac and Wyatt pick the teams, and they cheat. Just always.
Look, I'm just saying, I want to make a Kingsman versus Inspirations happen this year.
Do it
and prove to the world who the better quartet is.
Get Harold Reed in on that.
Oh yeah,
see if he wants to go against us because he used to sing with us.
All right, yeah.
Maybe there's a place in his heart that he wouldn't play.
I say we get an announcer or some walk-up music.
Yeah, Eddie Watson from the Watson Brothers was supposed to be the announcer, but for some reason I don't think that worked out last time. But we really want that to happen.
Yeah, but singing in the Smokies is fun. Honestly, my favorite parts are always the chapel services in the morning.
Yeah,
those are wonderful.
Those are great, and I don't know what order all the guys will preach, but that'll be Wyatt and Mike, and I think Roland will preach one.
Yeah. Matt.
Yeah, I don't know how they've got it spaced out. I've heard some different things, but we'll see when we get there. But it's kind of our homecoming for all of our people, and we're looking forward to seeing you there.
It's up in the beautiful Braston City Mountains. Come on.
What's that AI video Troy made a few years ago? That girl that was like, as I sit in the tranquil meadow of the Smoky Mountains. Did y'all see that?
Yes.
You got to look it up. It's priceless.
It is. And then, of course, they can visit your website.
The
to learn all things.
Inspirationsquartet.com.
Inspirationsquartet.com. And
they'll have a new album at Singing in the Smokies, too.
Yep. It'll be, there you go.
Songs for our American culture.
I can't believe they left that chair in there. That was supposed to be edited out.
Y'all were just supposed to be floating in there?
No, it was supposed to be one color.
Oh.
Zebra chair. Yeah. I cannot believe that picture made it on there. I love the picture, but that chair. That was at a studio in Nashville where we took that picture. But.
Yeah. Somebody must have forgot to use the Canva or whatever on that. And then, of course, at your website, you can get your current album, Up Above
Yeah.
the World So High,
Up
right
the world
now.
so high.
Go check that out.
Up the world so high.
Evan, what are you laughing about?
Pull
Yeah,
up
what's-
Roland's comment. I feel a little what's the word?
Oh,
Intimidated.
targeted.
Whoa.
Well, let's show it. What is he saying? If the Kingsmen want to play us in softball, we will accept the challenge. Looking forward to what Troy and Tammy has planned for all of Singing the Smokies. They are putting the event on, and we're honored to be having a part of it. So yeah, he's taking this thing seriously on that softball game, y'all.
Oh no.
Evan?
I'm so ready to watch this.
Oh,
I was raised that you never write a check with your mouth that the
gonna
rest
say,
of
Evan,
you
you're the
can't
guy who-
cash.
You're the guy who fell over home base.
Roland, you're not
did.
supposed to be, Roland, you're not supposed to be doing stuff like that.
Oh, but
If you
speaking
want
about
to
this,
see what Singing in the Smokies is like, we have 2 years worth of vlogs over on our YouTube channel. So go check
Sure
those
do.
out because we just kind of give you an insider's view if you haven't been and want to know more about it.
absolutely, and the theme of tonight has been a lot of community, and I know that really has been a big community builder over the last few years. The Singing of the Smokies with the young folks, with everything that's talked about. So, yeah, well, thanks for sharing all that with us, Luke, and man, we appreciate you being with us tonight. I hope you've had a blast. We have.
I was going to say, if Luke holds 4 minutes, he's made it for the longest episode ever.
Okay, well, sure.
All right, name every Inspirations album from 1966 to now. Go. Here we go.
Our pioneer heritage, cool waters, just as long as eternity rolls. What a wonderful time from the heart of the Smokies. He's our guide. Jesus is coming soon. Next step, night before Easter.
He's gonna do it.
Keep your eyes on Jesus. The Ralph Sexton record, Our Inspiration. Wake Up in Glory. Old time singing. We Shall Rise. Tour in the City.
We're only in the
Wake Up
70s.
to Sleep No More. Do I need to keep going?
That was impressive, man.
It's impressive.
All of them. I can do
That's
all
impressive.
of them.
Well, yeah, we got time. We can. One thing we've got to do real quick, if y'all don't mind, we can go ahead and tell the folks who we're going to have next time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As Avery shared with our crowd last time, we have a month full of second appearances, like from our earlier guests that we've had, and y'all. I think Avery or somebody did a poll or did a question, and y'all requested a lot of folks. We've already had Jay Lee on. We've had now Luke, but the next two are also going to be highly requested from y'all who watch us. So, I don't. Evan, why don't you tell them who we're going to have next? Do you know?
This next guy that we're gonna have on, some may call him my best friend. I don't know where those allegations ever came from. I'm honored to get to play bass behind him and make sure he hits his low notes on some nights with the live band.
Wow.
We're gonna have, just kidding around, this guy truthfully is one of my greatest friends, and me and him have grown to be real good buddies over the last few years as he's been filling in the shoes of Hall of Famer Ray Dean Reese with the Kingsmen. We're going to have on my buddy Brady Jones of the Kingsmen. Look at him.
Yay. He's one of my favorites.
Look at him looking all dapper in that picture.
And I happen to know he's on a date with his girlfriend tonight.
So he ain't watching.
He ain't watching. I just sent him a text about the softball game, told him we'll have practice come this Saturday. So maybe he'll read it.
I talked to him on the phone a little while ago. We were chatting about something, and he said, well, I'm fixing to go pick up Miss Emma Claire.
Well, what better date could they have other than sitting in front of a smart TV on YouTube and watching us tonight? I mean,
Did you know that Brady is my cousin?
did not know
Really?
It's very distant, but some of his family was at a singing of theirs, and my parents came to the same singing, and I think it was Brady's grandma started doing some digging and found out that somebody way back on my grandpa's side of the family married somebody in their family way on back.
Wow.
So I guess by marriage, way on back, me and him are just distantly related. But you know how the Kingsmen are always calling each other cousin.
Oh, yeah.
I really have started doing that with Brady. So
Well, we definitely love Brady. And so, yeah, and I know, I mean, this should be out by now. We're going to be with y'all on the first, third, and fifth Tuesdays of the month. But this is going to be our third Tuesday in June that we're going to have. That's the 16th of June, 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, same bat channel. But we're going to have Brady with us. And we're looking forward to that. Let's see, were you in the first interview on that, Evan?
I was.
You were Brady.
One.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. I couldn't remember exactly how it fell out with those, but yeah, I'm looking forward to having Brady back. He's doing a fine job. And we've got, I've watched the time. We've got 1 more minute, and then Luke will have.
And then Luke he beat 2 records tonight.
You don't have to do all that, but
Well, yeah. We might as well. I mean, you know,
close enough, right?
I'm just going to say, okay, buddy, over and over again until it's time. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy.
And actually, for the nerd in us, there is one longer, but it featured 2 different people.
Yeah, it was an anomaly, so we didn't count it.
Who were they?
Isaac and then Troy and Tammy.
And of course, when you have Troy and Tammy, that's going to elongate the program.
And you were on that too, because you were a door knocker.
Oh yeah, I came in there to aggravate Isaac.
Yeah,
you did. That's right. So
just wait till I get on his real Southern Gospel show.
There you go.
Just wait till I hijack that from him. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but Scott knows I can pull it off.
I know it. I've seen the video footage. I have. I wish I could have got a copy of that, but I guess that was prized possession. No. Look, we beat it.
We've done the record. Congratulations.
We've done the record. Congratulations. Yay.
It wasn't hard to get on here and talk to y'all. Y'all are a lot of fun.
Well, you're a blessing. I tell you, Luke, you are a blessing. I love your humble spirit, your loving heart. I love the way you carry yourself for the Lord. You're a blessing to call friend. And we thank you so much for being with us tonight.
Well, thank you all for having me on. And by the next time you want to have me, I'll probably be past the 35-year mark or whatever, what the cutoff is. So
hey, we're doing legends now, so you'll be a legend interview.
I don't know about that.
But we love you and we appreciate you, buddy.
I love you all. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Anybody have anything else before we go?
Nope.
Producer Jason has done a fantabulous job. Again, because I'm having a little speed issues in my studio, he's doing this from his house and not over here with me. So thank you, Jason and Dawson, for keeping us running. Thank y'all for hanging with us tonight. And we look forward to seeing y'all again in 2 weeks. Until next time, Chase, you watching Southern Gospel Forward. Love y'all.
Tonight's episode is sponsored by Brady.